ladies and gentlemen, seekers of the hidden truths of the psyche. I stand before you today not merely as a lecturer, but as a fellow traveler on the path of self-discovery. We gather here not to merely exchange ideas or concepts, but to plunge into the depths of the human soul, to explore the rich and sometimes perilous landscapes of our inner worlds. It is a journey fraught with mystery, one that challenges us to look beyond the mere surface of our conscious thoughts and delve into the rich tapestry of the unconscious. Today, I wish to speak to you about a profound truth, a truth that is often overlooked in our pursuit of understanding the human condition. This truth concerns the empathic nature of the human spirit and the boundaries, or rather the lack thereof, that can lead to one's own destruction. You see, to be an empath is to possess a heightened sensitivity to the emotional energies of others, to feel deeply and to connect profoundly. It is a gift, but like all gifts, it comes with its own set of challenges and responsibilities. The empath, bearing this extraordinary sensitivity, walks a path that is both enlightening and treacherous. One must ask, how does one maintain the delicate balance between compassion and self-preservation? How does one extend the hand of empathy without becoming consumed by the very energies one seeks to heal? These are questions that strike at the heart of the human experience and demand an exploration that is as much mystical as it is psychological. In our quest for understanding, we must first turn to the concept of boundaries. The notion of boundaries in psychological terms refers to the invisible lines that delineate where one person ends and another begins. These boundaries are crucial for maintaining a sense of individuality and protecting one's inner world from the overwhelming influx of external stimuli. Yet, for the empath, these boundaries are often porous, allowing the emotions and energies of others to seep in, sometimes to the point of inundation. Imagine, if you will, the archetype of the wounded healer, a figure that has appeared in myths and legends across cultures and epochs. This archetype embodies the paradox of the healer who heals others yet struggles with their own wounds. The empath, often taking on this archetypal role, must navigate the delicate dance of offering solace and healing without succumbing to the very wounds they seek to mend. The challenge lies in recognizing that while empathy is a powerful tool for connection, it must be wielded with awareness and intention, lest it leads to self-destruction. To further illuminate this point, we must delve into the realm of the unconscious, that vast ocean of uncharted waters that lies beneath the surface of our conscious awareness. It is within the unconscious that we discover the roots of our empathic nature, the primal instincts and archetypal forces that drive us to connect with others. The unconscious is a repository of symbols and images, a place where the rational mind gives way to the language of dreams and myths. It is here that the empath must tread carefully, for the unconscious is both a source of great wisdom and potential peril. Consider for a moment the symbol of water, often associated with the unconscious. Water is a source of life, a nurturing force that sustains and cleanses. Yet, it can also be a force of destruction, capable of overwhelming and drowning those who are unprepared for its depths. The empath, like a vessel navigating these waters, must learn to steer with care, to discern when to open the sails of connection, and when to anchor in the harbor of self-preservation. Moreover, the empath must confront the shadow, that hidden part of the psyche that contains the aspects of ourselves we are reluctant to acknowledge. The shadow is not inherently malevolent, rather, it is a repository of parts of ourselves that have been repressed or denied. For the empath, the shadow may contain the fear of rejection, the desire for validation, or the tendency to absorb the emotions of others as a means of avoiding one's own pain. By bringing the shadow into the light of consciousness, the empath can begin to integrate these disowned parts and establish healthier boundaries. In the realm of psychological alchemy, a process that seeks to transform the base elements of the psyche into the gold of self-realization, the empath must engage in the work of individuation. This is a process by which one becomes whole, integrating the conscious and unconscious aspects of the self. Individuation requires the courage to face one's inner darkness, to embrace the full spectrum of human emotion, and to emerge with a deeper understanding of oneself. The empath, through the process of individuation, learns to hold space for both themselves and others, to offer compassion without losing sight of their own needs. It is a dance of give and take, a sacred balance that honors the interconnectedness of all beings while respecting the sanctity of the individual soul. As we navigate this journey together, let us remember that the path of the empath is not one of isolation, but of profound connection. It is a path that calls for the integration of wisdom from both the mystical and psychological realms. We must draw upon the rich traditions of myth and archetype, the insights of depth psychology, and the timeless truths of the human spirit. In this exploration, we are not alone. We are guided by the collective unconscious, that vast reservoir of shared human experience that connects us all. It is within this collective space that the empath finds solace and strength, recognizing that the journey of self-discovery is both a personal and universal endeavor. As we continue to delve deeper into the mysteries of empathy and boundaries, let us remain open to the symbols and images that arise from the unconscious. Let us honor the wisdom of the archetypes and the lessons they impart, and let us embrace the journey with courage and curiosity, knowing that the path of the empath is one of transformation and transcendence. In the spirit of inquiry and exploration, I invite you to reflect upon your own experiences of empathy. Consider the ways in which you navigate the delicate balance between connection and self-preservation. Reflect upon the symbols and images that resonate with your inner world, and allow them to guide you toward a deeper understanding of yourself and your place within the larger tapestry of life. As we continue our exploration in the next phase of this discussion, we will delve further into the intricacies of empathy, examining the ways in which it manifests within the psyche and the potential it holds for healing and transformation. Let us move forward with an open heart and a keen mind, ready to embrace the mysteries that await us on this journey of self-discovery. As we continue our journey into the profound depths of empathy and the boundaries that define and protect us, let us turn our attention to the intricate interplay between the conscious and unconscious mind. It is within this dynamic relationship that we find the seeds of both our greatest strengths and our most challenging vulnerabilities. To understand the empathic experience, we must first appreciate the dual nature of our psyche. A realm where light and shadow coexist, each illuminating the other in a dance as old as time itself. The conscious mind, with its logic and reason, serves as the map maker of our reality. It is a part of us that seeks order and understanding, constructing narratives that help us navigate the complexities of daily life. Yet, beneath this orderly surface lies the unconscious, a vast and mysterious domain teeming with archetypes, symbols, and primordial instincts. Like an iceberg whose bulk remains hidden beneath the waves, the unconscious forms the foundation of our being, influencing our thoughts, feelings, and actions in ways that often elude our conscious awareness. For the empath, this hidden realm is particularly significant, for it is here that the capacity for deep emotional resonance resides. The unconscious is the wellspring of empathy, a source of intuitive understanding that transcends the limitations of language and rational thought. It is the place where the barriers between self and other become permeable, allowing the empath to attune to the emotional currents of those around them. Yet, this same permeability that allows for profound connection can also pose a risk. Without the guidance of conscious awareness, the empath may find themselves adrift in a sea of emotions, unable to distinguish their own feelings from those of others. This can lead to a blurring of boundaries, a loss of self that leaves the empath vulnerable to emotional overwhelm and psychic exhaustion. To navigate these turbulent waters, the empath must cultivate a conscious relationship with her unconscious, a partnership that honors the wisdom of both realms. This involves an ongoing process of self-reflection and introspection, a willingness to explore the inner landscapes of the mind and heart by bringing the contents of the unconscious into the light of consciousness. The empath can begin to discern the patterns and themes that shape their emotional responses, gaining insight into the underlying motivations and desires that drive them. One of the most powerful tools for this exploration is the practice of active imagination, a technique that invites the conscious mind to engage directly with the images and symbols of the unconscious. Through visualization and dialogue, the empath can enter into a creative dialogue with their inner world, inviting the figures of the unconscious to reveal their messages and meanings. This process not only enhances self-awareness, but also strengthens the empath's ability to maintain healthy boundaries, allowing them to engage with others from a place of grounded presence and clarity. In this exploration, the archetypes serve as invaluable guides, providing a framework for understanding the universal themes and motifs that resonate within the human psyche. The archetype of the caregiver, for example, embodies the empathic impulse to nurture and support others. Yet it also carries the shadow of self-neglect and martyrdom. By recognizing and integrating these archetypal energies, the empath can transform the instinct to care for others into a balanced expression of compassion that honors both self and other. Similarly, the archetype of the hero offers a model for courage and resilience, inspiring the empath to embark on the journey of self-discovery with bravery and determination. Yet, the hero's journey is not without its trials and tribulations. It demands the willingness to confront the inner dragons of fear and insecurity. to face the shadows of doubt and hesitation that seek to keep us from realizing our true potential. As we traverse this landscape of the psyche, let us not forget the role of the collective unconscious, that shared reservoir of human experience that binds us all. It is within this collective realm that we find the echoes of ancient myths and stories, the timeless narratives that speak to the core of our humanity. These myths serve as mirrors, reflecting the inner conflicts and aspirations of the soul, offering guidance and wisdom for those who seek to understand the deeper currents of their lives. In the myth of the hero's journey, for instance, we see the archetypal pattern of departure, initiation, and return, a cycle that mirrors the empath's own journey of self-discovery and transformation. The hero must leave the familiar comforts of the known world, venturing into the unknown to face challenges and acquire new knowledge. Through this process of initiation, the hero gains the insight and strength necessary to return to the community with gifts of healing and wisdom. For the empath, this journey involves the courage to step beyond the confines of the familiar, to embrace the unknown territories of the self. It requires the willingness to confront the fears and insecurities that arise when we open ourselves to the depths of our own emotions and the emotions of others. Yet, it is through this journey that the empath discovers the true nature of their gift, transforming empathy from a source of vulnerability into a wellspring of strength and wisdom. In this process of transformation, the empath learns to cultivate a sense of inner balance, a harmony between the needs of the self and the needs of others. This involves the conscious practice of setting boundaries, a skill that allows the empath to offer their compassion and understanding without losing themselves in the process. Boundaries are not barriers, they are the contours of our identity, the lines that define who we are and what we stand for. By honoring these boundaries, the empath creates a sacred space within which they can engage with others from a place of authenticity and integrity. This space becomes a sanctuary, a refuge where the empath can recharge and renew, drawing upon the inner resources to sustain their empathic gifts. It is within this sanctuary that the empath discovers the power of self-compassion, the recognition that their own needs and emotions are worthy of care and attention. As we continue this exploration, let us remain open to the unfolding mysteries of the psyche, embracing the paradoxes and complexities that define the human experience. Let us honor the wisdom of the unconscious, recognizing it as a source of insight and inspiration. And let us cultivate the courage to engage with our inner world, trusting that the journey of self-discovery will lead us to a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place within the interconnected web of life. In the next phase of our discussion, we will explore the practical implications of these insights, examining how the empath can apply these principles to their daily lives. We will consider the ways in which empathy can be harnessed as a force for healing and transformation, both within ourselves and in the world around us. Let us move forward with curiosity and openness, ready to embrace the challenges and opportunities that await us on this path of self-discovery. As we journey further into the depths of understanding empathy and the intricate dance between the self and the other, let us turn our focus to the notion of integration, a key process In the maturation of the empathic soul, integration represents the harmonious blending of the various facets of our psyche, where the conscious and unconscious aspects, the light and the shadow, converge to form a more complete and authentic self. This process is akin to the ancient practice of alchemy, where base metals are transformed into gold, a metaphor for the transformation of the psyche. The empath, in their quest for wholeness, engages in this alchemical process, seeking to unify the disparate elements within. This journey is not linear, but rather a spiral, where each turn brings deeper understanding and insight, allowing the empath to transcend previous limitations and embrace their true essence. To facilitate this integration, the empath must cultivate a deep sense of self-awareness, a mindful presence that allows them to observe their thoughts, feelings, and reactions without judgment. This awareness acts as a lighthouse, guiding the empath through the stormy seas of emotional turbulence, illuminating the patterns and triggers that may otherwise remain hidden in the shadows of the unconscious. Mindfulness, in this context, becomes a practice of attunement, not only to the external world, but also to the inner landscapes of the psyche. It invites the empath to engage with their emotions as messengers, each bearing gifts of insight and understanding. By welcoming these emotional visitors with compassion and curiosity, the empath can discern their origins and meanings, allowing for a more conscious response to the challenges of life. In this practice of mindful awareness, the empath learns to listen deeply, both to themselves and to others. This deep listening is an act of presence, a willingness to be fully engaged in the moment, free from the distractions of past regrets or future anxieties. Through this presence, the empath creates a space of acceptance and understanding where both their own needs and the needs of others can be honored and respected. Yet, as the empath navigates this path of integration, they must also confront the paradox of empathy, the tension between selflessness and self-care. This paradox reflects the dual nature of empathy, where the desire to connect with others coexists with the need to maintain one's own well-being. It is a delicate balance, one that requires the empath to continually assess and adjust their boundaries, ensuring that their compassion is informed by wisdom and discernment. In exploring this paradox, the empath discovers the importance of self-care as an essential component of empathy. Self-care is not an indulgence, it is a necessity, a means of replenishing the empath's inner resources so that they can continue to offer their gifts to the world. It is through acts of self-nurturing that the empath sustains their capacity for empathy, ensuring that their compassion remains a source of strength rather than a path to depletion. This self-care can take many forms, from the simple pleasures of a quiet moment in nature to the deeper practices of meditation and reflection. Each act of self-care is an affirmation of the empath's intrinsic worth, a recognition that their well-being is as important as the well-being of those they seek to help. By embracing self-care, the empath honors the sacred balance between giving and receiving, nurturing the seeds of compassion within their own heart. As the empath cultivates this balance, they begin to embody a new way of being in the world, one that reflects the integration of their empathic gifts with the wisdom of self-awareness. This way of being is characterized by a sense of groundedness, a stability that allows the empath to engage with others from a place of strength and authenticity. It is a presence that radiates calm and compassion, inviting others to do the same. In this state of integration, the empath becomes a beacon of light, a source of healing and transformation for themselves and for those they encounter. Their empathy, informed by the wisdom of integration, becomes a bridge that connects the individual with the collective, the personal with the universal. It is a force that transcends the limitations of the ego, inviting a deeper connection with the shared essence of humanity. Yet, even as the empath embraces this new way of being, they remain aware of the ongoing nature of the journey. Integration is not a destination, but a continual process of growth and evolution. It is a dance of becoming, where each step reveals new layers of understanding and insight. The empath, in their openness to this process, allows themselves to be transformed by the journey, trusting that each experience is a stepping stone on the path to greater wholeness. As we contemplate the implications of this journey for our own lives, let us consider the ways in which we can integrate the insights we have gained. How might we embody the balance between empathy and self-care in our daily interactions? How can we create spaces of presence and acceptance, both for ourselves and for others? These questions invite us to engage with the practice of empathy, not as a passive trait, but as an active choice, a commitment to living with intention and integrity. In the final phase of our exploration, we will turn our attention to the broader implications of empathy in the world. We will consider how the empath, through their journey of integration, can contribute to the healing of the collective, offering their gifts as catalysts for change and transformation. Let us continue with open hearts and open minds, ready to embrace the possibilities that await us on this path of empathy and integration. As we delve further into the transformative power of empathy and the journey of integration, let us shift our focus to the broader implications of these insights for the collective. In a world that often feels fragmented and disconnected, the empath's journey of self-discovery and integration holds profound potential for healing and transformation on a societal level. The empath, through their deep attunement to the emotional undercurrents of humanity, becomes a conduit for change, a catalyst for the emergence of a more compassionate and connected world. The empath's gift lies in their ability to perceive the subtle energies that flow through the collective unconscious, to sense the unspoken needs and desires of the larger human family. This sensitivity, when grounded in self-awareness and balanced with healthy boundaries, enables the empath to act as a bridge between individuals and communities, fostering understanding and empathy across divides. It is through this bridging that the empath contributes to the healing of the collective wounds that have long plagued humanity. Imagine, if you will, the ripple effect of a single empathic act. Like a stone cast into a still pond, the reverberations extend outward, touching the lives of those who come into contact with its energy. Each act of empathy, each moment of genuine connection creates a wave of healing that moves through the tapestry of human relationships, inspiring others to engage with the world from a place of compassion and understanding. In this way, the empath becomes a beacon of light, illuminating the path toward a more harmonious and interconnected existence. To harness this potential, the empath must engage with the world from a place of authenticity, embodying the principles of empathy and integration in their interactions with others. This involves speaking and acting from the heart, allowing the truth of one's being to resonate in the world. It is an invitation to live in alignment with one's values, to let the inner light of empathy shine brightly, even in the face of darkness and adversity. In doing so, the empath challenges the prevailing narratives of separation and competition, offering instead a vision of unity and cooperation. They become advocates for a new way of being, one that honors the interconnectedness of all life and recognizes the inherent worth of every individual. It is a vision that calls for the dismantling of the barriers that divide us, inviting us to embrace our shared humanity and work together toward the common good. Yet, this work is not without its challenges. The empath, in their openness to the suffering of the world, must navigate the delicate balance between engagement and detachment, between action and reflection. It is a dance that requires the empath to remain grounded in their own center, to draw upon the inner resources of strength and resilience that have been cultivated through the journey of integration. By maintaining this equilibrium, the empath is able to engage with the world from a place of clarity and purpose. They become agents of change, using their empathy as a tool for social transformation, whether through acts of kindness and compassion, or through advocacy and activism. The empath contributes to the creation of a more just and equitable society, one that honors the dignity and worth of all people. As we consider the implications of this work, let us reflect upon the ways in which we can each contribute to the healing of the collective. How might we, in our own unique ways, embody the principles of empathy and integration in our interactions with others? How can we create spaces of connection and understanding, fostering a sense of belonging and community in a world that often feels fragmented and divided? These questions invite us to engage with the world from a place of intentionality, to act as stewards of empathy and compassion in our own lives. They call us to recognize the power of our actions, however small, to create ripples of change that extend far beyond our immediate sphere of influence. In this way, we become co-creators of a new reality, one that reflects the highest ideals of our shared humanity. As we continue on this journey, let us remain open to the possibilities that arise, trusting in the wisdom of the heart to guide us toward a more compassionate and interconnected world. Let us embrace the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead, knowing that the path of empathy and integration is both a personal and collective endeavor. In closing, I invite you to consider the ways in which you can bring the insights of this journey into your own life. Reflect upon the moments of connection and understanding that have touched your heart, and consider how you might cultivate these qualities in your interactions with others. Allow the lessons of empathy and integration to inform your actions guiding you toward a deeper understanding of yourself and your place within the larger tapestry of life. In doing so, you join a growing movement of individuals who are committed to creating a more compassionate and connected world. Together, we can harness the transformative power of empathy to bridge divides, heal wounds, and foster a sense of unity and belonging for all. Let us move forward with courage and conviction, ready to embrace the possibilities that await us on this path of empathy and transformation. As we continue this exploration of empathy and its profound potential to transform both the individual and the collective, it is essential that we consider the role of creativity and imagination in this process. For it is through the creative imagination that the empaths can transcend the limitations of the present moment, envisioning new possibilities and pathways for healing and connection. Imagination, in this context, serves as a bridge between the known and the unknown, the conscious and the unconscious, allowing the empath to tap into the rich reservoir of potential that lies within. The creative imagination is not merely a tool for self-expression, it is a means of engaging with the deeper truths of the psyche, a way of accessing the wisdom that resides beyond the boundaries of rational thought. It invites the empath to explore the symbolic language of the unconscious, to enter into a dialogue with the archetypes and images that emerge from the depths of the soul. Through this dialogue, the empath can gain insight into the underlying patterns and dynamics that shape their experiences, discovering new ways of relating to themselves and the world around them. In this way, the creative imagination becomes a catalyst for transformation, a means of initiating change from the inside out. It empowers the empath to reframe their experiences, to see the challenges they face as opportunities for growth and healing. By engaging with the creative imagination, the empath can envision new narratives for their lives, stories that reflect their deepest values and aspirations. These narratives serve as guiding stars, illuminating the path toward a more authentic and fulfilling existence. Moreover, the creative imagination allows the empath to engage with the collective unconscious, tapping into the shared reservoir of human experience that connects us all. Through art, music, literature, and other forms of creative expression, the empath can communicate their insights and experiences to others, fostering a sense of connection and understanding. These creative expressions serve as bridges linking the individual with the collective, allowing for the exchange of ideas and emotions that transcend cultural and linguistic boundaries. In this endeavor, the empath becomes a storyteller, weaving tales that speak to the heart of the human experience. These stories, whether told through words, images, or sounds, have the power to inspire and uplift, to challenge and provoke. They invite the listener or viewer to engage with their own emotions and experiences, to see themselves reflected in the mirror of the story. In this way, the empath's creative expressions become a means of fostering empathy and understanding, bridging the divides that separate us. As we consider the role of creativity in the empath's journey, it is important to recognize that creativity is not limited to the arts. It is a fundamental aspect of the human spirit, a capacity for innovation and problem solving that can be applied to all areas of life, whether in the realm of science, business, education, or relationships. The creative imagination allows the empath to approach challenges with curiosity and openness, to explore new possibilities and solutions. This creative approach to life requires a willingness to embrace uncertainty, to step into the unknown with courage and confidence. It invites the empath to let go of preconceived notions and rigid beliefs, to remain open to the unfolding of new ideas and perspectives. In doing so, the empath cultivates a mindset of flexibility and adaptability, qualities that are essential for navigating the complexities of the modern world. Furthermore, the creative imagination fosters resilience, enabling the empath to bounce back from setbacks and challenges with renewed vigor and determination. By engaging with their creativity, so the empath learns to see obstacles not as insurmountable barriers, but as opportunities for growth and learning. This resilience is grounded in the empath's ability to remain connected to their inner resources, to draw upon the strength and wisdom that resides within. As we reflect on the role of creativity and imagination in the empath's journey, let us consider the ways in which we can cultivate these qualities in our own lives. How might we engage with our creative imagination, allowing it to guide us toward new possibilities and pathways for growth? How can we use our creativity to foster connection and understanding, both within ourselves and in the world around us? These questions invite us to embrace the creative potential that lies within each of us, to explore the rich landscapes of our imagination with curiosity and wonder. They call us to recognize the power of our creative expressions, to transform not only our own lives, but the lives of those we encounter. By engaging with our creativity, we become active participants in the co-creation of a more compassionate and connected world. As we continue this exploration, let us remain open to the possibilities that arise, trusting in the wisdom of the creative imagination to guide us on our journey. Let us embrace the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead, knowing that the path of empathy and creativity is both a personal and collective endeavor. Together, we can harness the transformative power of empathy and imagination to create a more harmonious and interconnected existence for all. As we delve deeper into the transformative interplay of empathy and creativity, it becomes increasingly apparent that these facets of the human experience are not isolated phenomena, but are deeply interwoven into the fabric of our collective existence. They are the threads that connect us to one another, to the vast tapestry of human history, and to the potential futures that await us in this exploration. We are called to consider the implications of empathy and creativity not only for our personal journeys, but for the evolution of our societies and cultures. Empathy, at its core, is an act of connection, a bridge that spans the chasm between self and other. It allows us to transcend the boundaries of individual experience, to step into the shoes of another and see the world through their eyes. This capacity for understanding and connection is not merely a passive state of being, but an active choice, one that requires intention and effort. It is a commitment to engage with the world from a place of openness and curiosity, to seek out the common threads that bind us together as human beings. In this endeavor, the empath becomes a weaver of connections, a facilitator of dialogue and understanding through their presence and actions. They create spaces where diverse perspectives can coexist, where differences are not seen as threats, but as opportunities for growth and learning. These spaces, whether physical or metaphorical, become sanctuaries of empathy, where individuals can come together to share their stories and experiences, to listen and be heard. In creating these spaces, the empath draws upon their creative imagination, envisioning new ways of relating and interacting that honor the dignity and worth of all individuals. This creativity is not confined to the realm of artistic expression, but extends to the ways in which we build and sustain our communities. It invites us to reimagine the structures and systems that govern our lives, to envision a world where empathy and compassion are at the forefront of our collective consciousness. Imagine, if you will, a society where empathy is woven into the very fabric of our institutions, where policies and practices are informed by a deep understanding of the human experience. In such a society, education would prioritize not only the acquisition of knowledge, but the cultivation of emotional intelligence and relational skills. Healthcare would be centered around the holistic well-being of individuals, recognizing the interconnectedness of mind, body, and spirit. Justice systems would seek to heal rather than punish, addressing the root causes of harm and fostering reconciliation and restoration. These visions are not mere flights of fancy, but reflections of the potential that lies within us, waiting to be realized. They call us to engage with the world as active participants in the creation of a more compassionate and just society. This engagement requires courage and commitment, a willingness to challenge the status quo and envision new possibilities. It is an invitation to become co-creators of a future that reflects the highest ideals of our shared humanity. In this process of co-creation, the empath is not alone. They are supported by the collective energies of all those who share this vision, those who are committed to building a world where empathy and creativity are valued and nurtured. Together, they form a network of change makers, individuals and communities working together to bring about positive transformation. As we reflect on the role of empathy and creativity in shaping our societies, let us consider the ways in which we can contribute to this collective endeavor. How might we, in our own unique ways, foster a culture of empathy and creativity in our communities? How can we create spaces where diverse voices are heard and valued, where collaboration and cooperation are prioritized over competition and division? These questions invite us to engage with the world from a place of intention and purpose, to act as stewards of empathy and creativity in our own lives. They call us to recognize the power of our actions, however small, to create ripples of change that extend far beyond our immediate sphere of influence. By embracing this responsibility, we become active participants in the co-creation of a more compassionate and connected world. As we continue on this journey, let us remain open to the possibilities that arise, trusting in the wisdom of empathy and creativity to guide us toward a more harmonious and interconnected existence. Let us embrace the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead, knowing that the path of empathy and creativity is both a personal and collective endeavor. Together, we can harness the transformative power of these forces to create a world that reflects the highest ideals of our shared humanity. As we forge ahead on this path of empathy and creativity, we are invited to delve even deeper into the subtle intricacies that define the empathic experience and its potential to shape the world around us. This journey requires us to engage not only with the external manifestations of empathy, but also with the internal processes that sustain and nourish it. It is an exploration of the inner landscapes of the heart and mind. A journey into the depths of the soul, where the seeds of empathy and creativity are sown. At the heart of this exploration lies the concept of self-awareness, a cornerstone of the empathic journey. Self-awareness is the lens through which we perceive our own thoughts, emotions, and motivations. It is the mirror that reflects the truth of our being, revealing the layers of complexity that make up the human experience. For the empath, cultivating self-awareness is not merely an intellectual exercise, but a deep and ongoing practice of introspection and reflection. Through self-awareness, the empath gains insight into the patterns and dynamics that shape their responses to the world. They learn to recognize the triggers that activate the empathic sensitivities, as well as the defenses that may arise in response to overwhelming emotional stimuli. This awareness allows the empath to navigate the complexities of human relationships with greater skill and discernment, fostering connections that are grounded in authenticity and mutual respect. Moreover, self-awareness serves as a foundation for self-compassion. A vital aspect of the empath's journey, self-compassion invites the empath to extend the same kindness and understanding to themselves that they so readily offer to others. It is a practice of embracing one's own imperfections and vulnerabilities, recognizing that they are an integral part of the human experience. Through self-compassion, the empath learns to care for themselves in a way that honors their own needs and boundaries, ensuring that their empathy remains a source of strength rather than depletion. In this practice of self-compassion, the empath is supported by the wisdom of the heart, that inner sanctuary where the true essence of empathy resides. The heart is the seat of our deepest emotions, the source of our capacity for love and connection. It is through the heart that the empath experiences the full spectrum of human emotion, from the depths of sorrow to the heights of joy. By cultivating a heart-centered approach to life, the empath can engage with the world from a place of openness and receptivity, allowing their empathy to flow freely and without reservation. This heart-centered approach is not without its challenges. It requires the empath to remain present with their emotions, to embrace the full range of their emotional experience without judgment or resistance. It is an invitation to dance with the shadow, to confront the fears and insecurities that arise when we open ourselves to the depths of our own vulnerability. Yet, it is through this dance that the empath discovers the true power of empathy. The ability to transform pain into healing and isolation into connection. As the empath navigates this journey of self-awareness and self-compassion, they are guided by the light of their own inner wisdom. This wisdom is not a static body of knowledge, but a dynamic and evolving process of discovery and growth. It is the voice of the soul, whispering truths that transcend the limitations of the rational mind. By tuning into this inner guidance, the empath can align their actions with their deepest values and intentions, creating a life that reflects their authentic self. In this alignment, the empath finds the courage to step into their true power, to embrace their role as a catalyst for change and transformation. This power is not one of domination or control, but of influence and inspiration. It is the power to create ripples of empathy and understanding, to inspire others to engage with the world from a place of compassion and connection. By embodying this power, the empath becomes a beacon of hope, illuminating the path toward a more harmonious and interconnected existence. As we consider the implications of this journey for our own lives, let us reflect on the ways in which we can cultivate self-awareness and self-compassion in our daily interactions. How can we honor the wisdom of our hearts, allowing it to guide us toward greater connection, and understanding how might we use our empathic gifts to create spaces of healing and transformation, both within ourselves and in the world around us? These questions invite us to engage with the world from a place of intention and purpose, to act as stewards of empathy and compassion in our own lives. They call us to recognize the power of our actions, however small, to create ripples of change that extend far beyond our immediate sphere of influence. By embracing this responsibility, we become active participants in the co-creation of a more compassionate and connected world. As we continue on this journey, let us remain open to the possibilities that arise, trusting in the wisdom of the heart to guide us toward a more harmonious and interconnected existence. Let us embrace the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead, knowing that the path of empathy and creativity is both a personal and collective endeavor. Together, we can harness the transformative power of these forces to create a world that reflects the highest ideals of our shared humanity. As we continue to explore the realms where empathy and creativity converge, we are reminded of the profound interconnectedness that these elements bring into our lives. Within this interconnectedness lies a powerful potential for healing, not just at the individual level, but at the level of communities and societies as a whole. Empathy, when coupled with creativity, becomes a transformative force that can bridge divides, heal wounds, and foster a sense of unity amidst diversity. To understand this potential, we must first acknowledge the role that empathy plays in the healing process. Empathy is the ability to truly see and understand another's experiences, to feel their joy and pain as if it were our own. It is a profound act of presence, one that requires us to set aside our own judgments and preconceptions in order to connect with the essence of another's humanity. This connection creates a space of safety and acceptance, where healing can begin to unfold. In this space, the creative imagination serves as a vital tool for expressing and navigating the complexities of the healing journey. Creativity allows us to give voice to the unspoken, to bring the hidden and the repressed into the light of awareness. Through artistic expression, whether it be through writing, painting, music, or movement, we can explore the depths of our emotions and experiences, finding meaning and resolution in the process. This creative exploration is not limited to the individual, but extends to the collective as well. Within communities, creative expression can foster dialogue and understanding, bringing people together around shared experiences and common goals. Art becomes a universal language, one that transcends cultural and linguistic barriers, inviting us to connect with one another on a deeper level through community art projects, storytelling circles, and collaborative performances. Individuals can come together to share their narratives, fostering empathy and solidarity in the process. Moreover, creativity can be a powerful catalyst for social change, challenging existing paradigms and inspiring new ways of thinking and being. By envisioning alternative realities and possibilities, creative thinkers can inspire others to move beyond the constraints of the status quo and toward more equitable and just systems. This visionary aspect of creativity is particularly important in times of crisis and transformation, when old structures may be crumbling and new ones have yet to be built. In this context, the empath's role becomes one of leadership and advocacy. Guided by their deep understanding of human emotions and experiences, empaths are uniquely positioned to lead efforts that promote healing and transformation. They can use their empathic insights to identify areas of need and to advocate for policies and practices that reflect the values of empathy and compassion. Whether working in healthcare, education, social services, or the arts, empaths can make significant contributions to the creation of a more inclusive and compassionate society. This leadership is not about imposing one's vision on others, but about facilitating processes that empower individuals and communities to find their own paths to healing and growth. It is about creating environments where people feel valued and heard, where diverse perspectives are welcomed and considered. By fostering a culture of empathy and creativity, empaths can help to create the conditions for collective healing and transformation. As we consider the broader implications of empathy and creativity for our world, let us also reflect on the ways in which we can embody these principles in our own lives. How can we use our empathic gifts to foster connection and understanding in our communities? How might we engage with our creativity to inspire positive change and transformation? These questions invite us to become active participants in the creation of a more compassionate and connected world. In doing so, we become part of a larger movement, one that recognizes the power of empathy and creativity to transform not only our own lives, but the world around us. This movement is not about individual achievement, but about collective awakening, a recognition of our shared humanity and the interconnectedness of all life. It is a call to action, an invitation to engage with the world from a place of love and compassion, to become agents of change in whatever ways we are able as we move forward on this journey. Let us remain open to the insights and inspirations that arise, trusting in the wisdom of empathy and creativity to guide us toward a more harmonious and interconnected existence. Let us embrace the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead, knowing that the path of empathy and creativity is both a personal and collective endeavor. Together, we can harness the transformative power of these forces to create a world that reflects the highest ideals of our shared humanity. As we venture further into the realms of empathy and creativity, it is essential to explore how these forces interact with the concept of transformation. Transformation is a profound shift, a metamorphosis that occurs at both the personal and collective levels. It is the alchemical process by which the raw materials of our experiences, emotions, and insights are transmuted into something greater, something that transcends the limitations of the past and opens the door to new possibilities. At the heart of transformation lies the willingness to embrace change, to step into the unknown with courage and curiosity. This willingness is a hallmark of the empathic journey. For empaths are often called to navigate the complexities of human emotions and experiences, to venture into the depths of the soul where transformation occurs. In this journey, the empath acts as both participant and witness, engaging with their own process of transformation while also supporting the transformation of others. This dual role requires the empath to cultivate a deep sense of presence, to remain grounded in the midst of change and uncertainty. Presence is the ability to be fully engaged in the moment, to bring one's whole self to the experience of transformation. It is an invitation to let go of the need for control and to trust in the unfolding of the journey, knowing that each step is a necessary part of the process. In this state of presence, the empath can access the deeper wisdom of the heart and mind, drawing upon the insights of the unconscious to guide them through the challenges and opportunities of transformation. This wisdom is not a fixed set of rules or doctrines, but a dynamic and evolving process of discovery and growth. It is the voice of the soul whispering truths that transcend the limitations of the rational mind. Transformation, when approached with presence and openness, becomes a sacred dance, a creative interplay between the known and the unknown, the self and the other. It is a dance that invites the empath to engage with their own shadows, to confront the fears and insecurities that arise when we open ourselves to the depths of our own vulnerability. Yet, it is through this dance that the empath discovers the true power of transformation. The ability to turn pain into healing and isolation into connection. In this sacred dance, the empath is supported by the creative imagination, the ability to envision new possibilities and pathways for growth. Creativity becomes a tool for navigating the complexities of transformation, allowing the empath to explore the symbolic language of the unconscious and to find meaning and resolution in the process. Through creative expression, the empath can give voice to the unspoken, bringing the hidden and the repressed into the light of awareness. This creative exploration is not limited to the individual, but extends to the collective as well. Within communities, creative expression can foster dialogue and understanding, bringing people together around shared experiences and common goals. Art becomes a universal language, one that transcends cultural and linguistic barriers, inviting us to connect with one another on a deeper level through community art projects, storytelling circles, and collaborative performances. Individuals can come together to share their narratives, fostering empathy and solidarity in the process. Moreover, creativity can be a powerful catalyst for social change, challenging existing paradigms and inspiring new ways of thinking and being. By envisioning alternative realities and possibilities, creative thinkers can inspire others to move beyond the constraints of the status quo and toward more equitable and just systems. This visionary aspect of creativity is particularly important in times of crisis and transformation, when old structures may be crumbling and new ones have yet to be built. As we consider the role of transformation in the empath journey, let us also reflect on the ways in which we can engage with this process in our own lives. How might we embrace the changes and challenges that arise, allowing them to guide us toward greater understanding and growth? How can we use our empathic gifts to support the transformation of others, fostering a sense of connection and understanding in our communities? These questions invite us to engage with the world from a place of intention and purpose, to act as stewards of empathy and creativity in our own lives. They call us to recognize the power of our actions, however small, to create ripples of change that extend far beyond our immediate sphere of influence. By embracing this responsibility, we become active participants in the co-creation of a more compassionate and connected world. As we move forward on this journey, let us remain open to the possibilities that arise, trusting in the wisdom of empathy and creativity to guide us toward a more harmonious and interconnected existence. Let us embrace the challenges and opportunities that lie ahead, knowing that the path of empathy and creativity is both a personal and collective endeavor. Together, we can harness the transformative power of these forces to create a world that reflects the highest ideals of our shared humanity.